Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the first time that I'll be speaking directly to the camera, so fingers crossed this all goes well. I'm terrible at speaking to cameras, so I'm hoping this will be some good practice for me anyway. So today I'm just going to be reflecting a little bit about the first few weeks of my PhD at the University of Cambridge. I'm thinking that anyone that is watching this video is either interested in doing a PhD, whether that be at Cambridge or elsewhere. Maybe they're currently doing a PhD, maybe they're wanting just to look back and see what other people's experiences are. So I'm hoping this video will be sort of informative, but also just sort of a nice reflection for also me to think about, for maybe other people to think about. So I arrived in Cambridge at the very start of October, and I moved into Pembroke College. So I'm living in Newcourt at the minute. It's been lovely so far. I arrived quite late on the first day, but they had a number of different events for all the new students coming into the college. And I was quite late on the day, so I missed a few of these. The following day, we had sort of a tour of Cambridge, got to see, all the main sites, as well as to meet other people that are also postgraduate students. And that was where I sort of met some of my new friends that I've made over the past few weeks, who are all absolutely lovely. And everyone that I've met has been generally really wonderful and kind and helpful, which is what you would really want when you're, moving to a new city and settling in. So all of those sort of first few events that I've attended anyway are all sort of college-led. For anyone that doesn't know anything about the college system, I would recommend you have a look on the university websites, on the college websites. One sort of easy comparison I would make is you can sort of describe it like Hogwarts. Everyone is sort of in Hogwarts or the University of Cambridge, and you're sort of assigned into a college, so Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and like that I'm sort of in Pembroke. So you have in Pembroke all of your sort of main tutors, your support networks. It's where you see a lot of people, it's where you eat in the dining halls. So it's a really cool system that they've got, and the support has been second to none that I've got so far. It's been brilliant. I know sort of where all to go if I need support, either with academics, mental health. If I want to get involved in something, I know the people I can speak to, so it's a really good system. So my first day of the actual PhD, I went and met with my supervisor, who sort of talked me through the first few first few months of what my PhD would look like. So just to talk a little bit about my PhD, it's in public health and primary care, so I'm based sort of in an office near Addenbrooke's Hospital, and then there's also lots of other opportunities that I've been doing so far, because Cambridge offers loads of training opportunities, which I've really highlighted in my interview. In the initial sessions that I've had with my supervisors when I've chatted with them, I've really highlighted the key things that I want to sort of look at and do in the first few weeks. So they've been really helpful in that sense. So in my first day, I met up with the supervisor, spoke through, the first project that I'll be involved in. There's been a lot of reading, obviously. In my first week, we also had matriculation, which is the process whereby you join your college officially. It sounds scary, but essentially what you do is you put on an exciting gown, and this is what said exciting gown looks like. So you'll wear this thing to, all your formal dinners, matriculation, other key university events. When you do matriculation, you'll have sort of all your main photographs that you'll do. So you'll take a photo with all the other members of the college. You'll take, individual photographs, and then you'll go into a room and sign a book with a very scary fountain pen that you dip in ink, and you write your name into the college book, where it will be forever and ever. So you're a lifetime member of the college. It's all very exciting. In my first week, I sort of got involved in a number of different things. So there was a freshers fair where I, went around all the societies that I was interested in joining. So I went to the Chess Society, to the Northern Society. I'm from Newcastle, so I have to, stick to my roots, being down south. I lived in the Netherlands for 9 years as well, so I also registered interest in the Dutch Society. There was a gaming society, which I was also interested in joining. Being a public health student, also saw a good opportunity to join the First Aid Society, but unfortunately I haven't been able to go to any of these events yet, with all the other commitments and things that I've been getting through. Very busy at the minute, so it's good fun. The good things that I've really liked so far is the support that I've gotten from my supervisors. I I think they recognise that a lot of students that are starting a PhD, regardless of where it is, you will feel a lot of imposter syndrome, the feeling that you're not supposed to be there, that you're going to be, found out. But the one important thing to remember when you are starting as a PhD student is that it is a training opportunity. You are there to learn, and that is a long process. It's designed to be 3 to 4 years of research, of a lot of work, so you're not expected to know everything at the very start. So I realise I haven't actually talked yet about what the actual PhD will be doing. I said it is in public health and primary care, but basically I'll be working in risk stratified approaches to cancer prevention. So I'm working as part of the CanRisk project, which is a tool that is designed to help assist clinicians make a cancer diagnosis. So far, the team have showed that it is possible to create a much more powerful tool used to diagnose breast and ovarian cancer already. Now what we want to do is show that we can enable it in frontline healthcare, so that we can find out people that are more at risk of developing these types of cancer, how we can support them, and then to talk about the improvements that we can make in cancer risk prediction, how we can make sure that the tools that we are creating are completely optimized so that they're user-friendly for both the clinician and for the patient. So there will be lots of different projects as part of that I'll be working on in the next 4 years. So the first thing that I've been working on is the validation study. So we need to be able to show that CanRisk, when we use it, is accurate and consistent, that it always gives the information that we want it to give us. So one of the first things that I was asked to do was to present options for the methods that we could use as part of the validation study. So I would present sort of 5 different methods to her. And I really liked at the very start was how we were chatting and got into a Zoom call, and the first thing that she asked me was, how are you getting on? And I obviously interpreted that as, show me what you've been working on, what the scoop is. And I was saying, okay, I'll go and share my screen. And she was like, no, I'm going to stop you right there. Tell me how you're doing as a person. How is it going? How are you settling in? What have you been up to outside of, your PhD, which I thought was really, really brilliant. Of course, it will vary from supervisor to supervisor, but generally all of the supervisors and people I've heard from as part of the friends that I've met so far have all shared similar experiences. It's been a really supportive network. Obviously the work will be challenging down the line, but I think all of the supervisors recognise this first few weeks is challenging. It's hard to settle into a new city, and I have not been immune to that at all. One of the other things that you will do quite a lot of in the first few weeks is attend induction events as part of your department, your school, maybe a university-wide thing. So the first induction event that I went to, again, a lot of people will be familiar with induction events, but the first one that I went to was the School of Clinical Medicine induction, which basically talked you through sort of what the school was doing, what support the school can offer, access to resources, library resources, statements on, ethics in, medical research. So it's very all-encompassing, talks about all sorts, talks about careers, which obviously will be down the line. Again, they were very keen to highlight that maybe it's not so relevant for you as someone that's just literally started your PhD, but it was good to hear that sort of information as well. And then the following week I went to a Welcome to Your PhD event, which was sort of a university-wide thing, which was quite good because you got to meet people that were outside of your, immediate sphere of research. So I didn't meet any. Well, to be fair, actually, I did sit on a table and we were all science-based PhDs, but either way, it was nice to meet people that were outside of, public health, primary care, which was good. And again, one of the key things that, I took away from that event was, there's a lot of support there. A lot of the former students that have done PhDs at Cambridge also suffered through the same sort of things with imposter syndrome, with, settling in. So, it's a lengthy process, and you shouldn't feel discouraged if, you're still finding your feet, if you're not sure what things mean. So that first week I had my first proper PhD supervisor meeting. So that's where I met my 2 main supervisors to sort of discuss the methods and the plans that we had for the first few months. and we identified some of the key sort of modules and training courses that I could get involved in. So one of the benefits of being a PhD student is that you're able to sort of sit on master's courses. So say I'm a qualitative researcher, but my quantitative skills are severely lacking. I've done, you know, a variety of bits of quantitative work beforehand, but I feel like I still need to really strengthen those parts of my you know, research skill set. So one of the things that my supervisors highlighted was some key courses that I could really get involved in. The university has a thing called the Researcher Development Programme, so if you are a researcher, you can apply to all sorts of different courses that the university offers free of charge generally. Your supervisors are always really keen to, you know, get your you know, skill set further developed, so you know, it's a really great network to have. The next sort of thing that I was involved in was writing the protocol for the validation study that I'll be conducting over the next few months. See, that was an opportunity for me to, you know, get my teeth into some real sort of work, which was good because it's always hard when you're settling into a new research role in particular, because you find yourself doing, you know, all the mandatory training, you know, reading a lot of different papers, which I don't know, I've been doing, and it's good fun, but you know, you really want to be just getting yourself into a good pattern, you know, consistent meetings, and a good project to get involved in. So working on that protocol has given me something really to get my teeth into and to you know, write about. So I, you know, did all the standard things in a research protocol that you did. So, you know, discuss the background of the topic, you know, write the aims and objectives of what we're wanting to do as part of that first project, you know, writing the methods of what we're intending to do as part of the project, discussing how we might analyse that data when it comes to it, thinking about the interview topic guide when we get to the qualitative stuff. One of the other key things that I've really liked so far is that I've gotten good support when I don't understand things or get things wrong. So I had a meeting earlier this week with my supervisors where we were discussing quantitative techniques in analysing certain types of data, and we were discussing Cohen's kappa, but obviously I didn't really understand that. So one of the supervisors was sort of explaining how we would calculate something to the other supervisor, and the supervisor would ask me, Cameron, do you understand this? And one of the things that I usually do to try and understand a topic is to explain it myself, and I tried explaining it the best I knew. Again, not familiar with this too much, so I tried explaining it based on the conversations that we had, and the supervisor was like, no, it's not. And I was like, can you explain that then in a different way so I can try and understand it? And my other supervisor was really glad that I asked this, because, you know, it shows that, you know, first of all, you're interested, you're wanting to sort of understand things that you might not understand. So it was, you know, really sort of rewarding to feel, you know, even though I don't know something, I'm still getting the support I need. Most of all, I'm not getting lost in my own thoughts. I'm not panicking because I'm taking the opportunity to learn from these people who are, you know, brilliant researchers. The next few weeks for me is getting more involved in the projects. We're hoping to start, you know, the validation study in the next couple of weeks, so we will be hopefully starting recruitment soon. We're going to be determining how our structured interviews will look, what questions we will ask. We're also still sort of debating how big the sample size would be, so how many people that I'll need to speak to as part of this project. And we're hoping to get that all done by Christmas, so, you know, a lot of pressure, but, you know, it's good to get involved in some good work. You know, hopefully we can see some positive results as well. If you're interested, please feel free to check out my other videos. I did one video which shows sort of how beautiful Cambridge is generally, so if you're interested in coming to visit the city, or, you know, moving here at all, feel free to check that out, because it gives sort of an overview of how beautiful the city is, sort of the key attractions, which is really cool, and it's got some good shots of Pembroke College. I'm hoping to do a Pembroke College specific video at some point soon. I'm also going to do a little video on my experience of the interview process at Cambridge University, in hope that that will, you know, be helpful for people that might be doing their interview soon, for any courses that are applying to as part of a PhD at Cambridge or elsewhere. And if you've got any questions for me, having just started, please let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to speak with you to, you know, give you the information that you need. So thanks again for watching. If you did like this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more study-based videos. I also do cooking videos, travel videos, so a bit of everything really, but I'm just sort of getting into it now. So I'm hoping this video is useful for people. That's it. See you next time. Thank you for watching.